Hi, I'm Kim Raifsnider with GMAC Real Estate Premier Network, and I have Kim Foreman with me. She has the Pressure Points Direct
Website?
website.
PressurePointsDirect.com.
Do you want to explain a little bit what that is about?
Well, the PressurePointsDirect.com website is a direct outgrowth of Dillman Karate International. And Dillman Karate International is the founding system of martial arts that I studied. And my ex-husband, George Dillman, and I own Mohammad Ali Training Camp. And it's been a premier setting for many, many martial arts venues for the past 11 years, and it still continues to be until hopefully we have a buyer. You know, it's been just a really, really great place. The guys can come up here, they can train, they can go back to their cabins, they can relax. The atmosphere, the air is perfect. It's very energizing, and it's also very relaxing. We find that people tend to sleep very deeply here after a long day's workout. So it's a perfect venue for not only corporate events, martial arts events, or any kind of sporting events, sporting camps, but we have the cabins that I'm sure you guys...
We have pictures, yeah, online.
We'll be putting out what you have online and maybe previewing some more for bed and breakfast, because we had hoped to do a little bit more than we have with bed and breakfast venue as well here at the camp. So it's really a multi-purpose type of area.
What was your most memorable experience here at the camps?
Wow, this takes me really back to, I don't want to talk about how old I am, this will date me, but in the early 70s when Muhammad Ali came to the area, he needed a place to work out, and he had teamed up with Bernie Pollock, who was a furrier in Reading, but also a fight promoter and fight fancier at the time. And originally started working out at Pollock's Mink Farm, which was down on the other side of Deer Lake. And there was just, with rain and everything, it was an outdoor ring, they couldn't work out a lot. And so he said to Bernie, he says, you know, I need a place. I need to build a gym. And Mr. Pollock and his brother owned this property at that time and said, you know, I think I have the ideal location for you. It's halfway up the mountain, it's high energy, you can do a lot of road work. You know, this part of the county at that time wasn't as well developed as it is now. And so it was very easy for them to run up and down Route 61. There wasn't as much traffic as there is now, because it's a major thoroughfare between 81 and Reading now. And leading, of course, down to Cabela's, down at the intersection of 78, which wasn't there then. It was just Old 22 then. And they used to run circuits around the lake itself, and then they would run up the highway, and they would run back to Bernie's farm. Well, in the rain they couldn't do this, so they needed a place. And so he brought Ali up here and said, we can sell you this land, and we can put a camp up here. And he got a builder out of Hamburg to build the log cabins. The building that's right to our rear here is the gymnasium building. And that was the first building that was actually sited here in 1972. And my ex and I had met up with Ali and had gone to the Mink Farm a couple of times to watch Ali work out and to work out with him. And Ali got really excited when they were constructing this place. And he brought us up here and he said, look, I'm building my gym. And when we first came up here, the only thing that was there was a cement slab. We kind of watched everything being built from the ground up as the logs were laid in place, and the building, even before any of the cement chinking was put in. And Ali was a Western freak. He loved anything having to do with West, and so this is why the log cabins. He just wanted that rustic look. He really, really liked that. And as you walk the property, you'll see he installed the hand pump outside of the big cabin in the back. There's a piece of an old buckboard still back there that he had bought at an antique market. There used to be a circus wagon here. Well, yeah, it's still here. It's really broken down now. His hope was to restore that for his kids, and it never materialized. And he also wanted to do more with the buckboard frame that's still out back there, but of course that's never he never materialized that either. It's a shame. He never got around to it.
Right, he was too busy.
He was
training.
Yeah, because this all came after he was making his comeback, after the draft evasion charges were dropped, and he was regaining his title. And actually, he started this. He came to Pennsylvania to start to train after he lost to Frazier the first time. because he just couldn't deal with the public and hotels and stuff anymore. It was just too much of a distraction. So the mink farm was okay, but very briefly, only for a few months. And then they started construction on this. So the gym building here was the original one. Ali had a trailer back there. They were building the cookhouse, which is right behind this, a very famous place, because he had some dynamite cooks cooking here at the camp. And originally that building was supposed to be his lodging quarters. And after he moved out the trailer, actually taken up the hill and put at the top for his sparring partners. And the guys wouldn't hang out in their own quarters, they would hang out in his. So he goes, I can't have this. You know, if I need to take a break after his morning workout and go take a nap, they're not letting me alone. So I have to have more buildings. So the cookhouse then, instead of being his quarters, became the cookhouse. He built a thicker log home in the back there for his quarters. At that time, his family was living in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. But they liked it up here so much that
He built the rest of the cabin.
he built the chalet, which is behind the camera here right now, and that became the place where his family then would come up and stay, especially during lovely balmy summer weather, as he was training here. And we used to go up here all the time, very early in the morning, because he'd go out for a run about 5, and we drove up from Reading, which means we were crawling out of bed around 3 to drive up here. And I used to drive the pace car all the time. I'm not a runner, I'll be very honest. But I used to drive the pace car. I got to drive Ali's Cadillacs with the flashers on, and I got to drive his Rolls Royce with the flashers on, and all kinds of cool cars. And as a teenager at the time, I thought that was awesome. I drive all these high-end cars. But it was a great time in the heyday, the comeback, with him regaining the title, and so forth. And as his entourage grew, then he expanded across the street and built the cabins on the other side, 9 of those little cabins over there, and eventually the house at the top of the hill, because this became just a mecca for the media. It became a mecca for all sorts of movie stars. And just about anybody you could name that was anybody in the 70s was here, and just about anybody. I mean, they snuck Elvis up here in the middle of the night. There's been a lot of local press about the state police being stationed at the bottom of Sculps Hill Road, blocking off the road. And Elvis went knocking, from what I understand, went knocking at Ali's cabin door in the middle of the night, and, you know, hey champ, wake up, it's me, Elvis. And he was like, huh? You know. And then they had a nice visit, and they decided to go out antiquing together, because there's a lot of antique places around here. So they went out antiquing together, and so the story goes. But big press mecca during his comeback. Big area for that. It's in all his books. It's mentioned. We get visitors here all the time just wanting to see the place. So
For the history of it.
For the history of it primarily, and we've got so much memorabilia in the gym. I mean, that's usually always open so that people can just walk through and go, wow. You know, because it is what it is. It's, if you know anything about boxing, whether you like Ali or not, he's there. He's part of boxing history. And this
place is a place of history.
Yeah, and we've got all of the rocks with the names of the boxers that either Ali fought or Ali idolized, you know, in his lifetime. And we've got the mosque over there that he built. We've since converted that into guest quarters, but that's where he would have prayed. And so it's just, I don't know, I get kind of goose pimply when I think about everything that really happened here. And then we have the 2 additional ranch house type cabins up on the other end. Those were built for, one was for Bundini Brown, who was his corner man, because he lived in New York, and he, his wife wanted to get out of New York too, and so he got Ali to build one of those houses there. And then the other house eventually housed some of his other trainers and other more important people in his entourage. But most of the entourage, as it grew, occupied all the cabins on the other side. And Ali always used to sequester himself, especially right before fights. He would leave the chalet, leave the comfort of home with the family, and he would sequester himself in the very rustic cabin at the back. At that time, the only thing he had was that big open fireplace that's in there for heat. You know, and it can get pretty cool up here even in the summer. So that's really a really cool place back there too.
Well, it's a wonderful place, and I just want to thank you for all of your time, and we'll try to sell.
Good. I hope so.
Thank you.